Hello all, welcome to the Lunar Sea Spire Cartoon Fan Podcast. This is episode 282, and today we'll be talking about Bao Bao's Revenge from Mao Mao, Heroes of Pure Heart. I'm GC13.
And I'm David.
So in this episode, Mao Mao reunites with his old adventuring companion, Bao Bao, who happens to be the most adorable and powerful little dog you've ever met.
Also is somehow, well, besides the monsters in this world, one of the only non-talking animals, which is put hilariously against all of the sweetie pies.
And yet Mao Mao can understand him perfectly.
Yeah, he definitely is understandable. When I rewatched the second time, I remembered that, oh yeah, Bao Bao spells out a whole message to Mao Mao in bones. So he's clearly capable of complex thoughts, but I kind of forgot about that by the time we actually see him, because he acts exactly like a unintelligent dog for a lot of his appearance.
Yeah, I mean, they have all these combo moves that rely on Bao Bao just being a dog.
Right, and Bao Bao sort of betrays Mao Mao again at the end by chasing a butterfly and ignoring Mao Mao's, renewed interest in their friendship, which was actually kind of sad because Mao Mao's really been hurt.
Oh yeah, Mao Mao, I mean, obviously he's still hurting about his father. The therapy with Old Blue isn't fixing him up immediately. He wants to impress their fathers together.
Yeah, that line that Mao Mao thinks everyone's dealing with daddy issues. He's like, join me, Bao Bao, and together we'll impress our collective fathers. But I don't know if he's still getting those therapy sessions, but I really enjoyed the fact that Adorabat was able to, she really had to think really hard about it, but the gears spun and she was able to put together that, oh yeah, Mao Mao is just emotionally hurt. And his exaggeration in his stories might come from a place of actual pain or actual regret or sadness. Which is kind of weird to think about the initial story that he pitches also as being not the, heroic story that he was trying to pitch it as.
Well, remember, they set that up as he was just upset about losing his ice cream.
Right. It turns out Mao Mao's a lot more emotionally moved than he wants to present himself to be. The fact that even ice cream is something that moves him. Yeah, I appreciate that, though.
I mean, you don't fight armies over ice cream?
No, I don't. But I do relate to, this relationship with an animal, and I think it definitely presents that funny, dichotomy of sometimes, you and your pet might vibe and you feel like you're on the same page, and then sometimes they're just a wild animal and you don't understand. But of course, I haven't taken a relationship with a pet as seriously as Mao Mao has. But I also don't live in a world of talking and much more intelligent animals.
I love how Mao Mao ties Bao Bao up to the light post completely confidently, and then is at the same time also completely confident that Bao Bao could rip the light post out if he wanted to. Something about that just sticks with me.
I was like, when Mao Mao... Well, also, I like that the bone he throws, again, going back to that object permanence, upon rewatching, realized, they actually slide in that Mao Mao picks up one of the bones and slides it into his pants, I don't know what he wears. He doesn't really wear pants. His somehow on his waist.
Belt thing.
And, later throws it. But, did he think Bao Bao was just going to rip from the leash? Did he think the whole pole was going to come with it? The whole plan was kind of based around the fact that Bao Bao was or hauling a pole behind him. So, yeah.
How strong is that leash, then?
Forget Bao Bao's own barbaric strength. The leash is made of impressive fabric. There's a lot of weirdly, who's making that material in this world? There's so many inept creatures in Pure Heart Valley that where do they have the material scientists, to produce those leashes? Where do they have the scientists to produce the freaking royal alarm that was installed at Mao Mao's house in the beginning of the episode? I don't know where all their technologists come from, because I haven't seen any.
But yeah, I consider this to be one of the first great Mao Mao episodes, but I still gotta say, I'm at least a little bit disappointed that we didn't get to fight Bao Bao the Barbarian.
They really made him look awesome in all of those flashback memory paintings. I also enjoyed the Emperor's New Groove vibe that happened when Mao Mao and Badgerclops were sort of fighting over manipulating the actual painting cards like sliding them around the screen, flipping them around, shoving them up. That was entertaining.
I remember, I could have sworn that it was on an earlier podcast episode. We commented, or I commented, someone commented about the lady who loses her children in the storm drain.
Oh my god, that was the standout, I think, comedic moment for me. At least when she... First of all, her Irish accent is great, but then second, when she is like, I can't find my kids, and Mao Mao's like, first of all, you're arrested.
I mean, at least the kids found themselves really quickly, actually. How did she not notice they were there?
I almost feel like was the original pitch for that joke, did it end before you see the kids, and then later, standards and practice at Cartoon Network were like, you have to show the kids again. The kids did not die in the storm drain. We gave you a PG rating, but it doesn't go that far. But this is, episode 10, and so far there's been no information about the Pure Heart giant gem, except that it's, magical and protects the land. But that terrible mother, calls upon it and actually does a weird magic hand wave thing, which is just an incredibly tiny little piece of lore that's kind of thrown out in there, where most of these sweetie pies are, basically stupid and inept and don't do anything. Some of them might have a relationship to that gem.
Yeah, it was like a religious gesture, and they highlighted the part of the gesture that was relevant, so it was obvious that she was making a heart in the air. So instead of, making the sign of the cross in front of you, she's making the sign of the heart in front of her.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, it is kind of like that cross gesture. So I wonder if we'll see more of that in more episodes, or if that was just a one-off thing.
I wouldn't anticipate too much. I think it was just since they gave her a very Irish accent, they're like, oh, what's something one would expect a European peasant to do in this situation?
We really draw on that, traditional Catholic Irish stereotype, apparently. if there is such a thing, I guess.
Yeah. Who wants to break tradition? I don't. I don't even want to break the Ruby Pure Heart. It's just amazing that Mao Mao was able to do it. He really is legendary.
Oh, well, yeah, they were just going fast in a car, I guess. But also, it's too bad that no one with healing spit is around to easily patch up a gem. And yet, they also don't seem concerned about actually doing it. It's just kind of like, well, the gem's broken, but, we have a sheriff now. But it just seems like there was more trouble than what even Mao Mao should be able to handle if they needed that giant gem to protect a gigantic plot of land. But, we'll see.
I mean, they have two wizards in town who are taking on the job.
Yeah, they haven't gotten a lot of screen time yet, though, but who knows?
No, they're just bit characters, but at least they established that they're there and ostensibly working on it. It's not like nobody cares. It's just that, the storyline kind of requires the Pure Heart to be broken, so it's gonna be broken. You said it yourself, everyone in the Pure Heart Valley is inept, so...
Speaking of inept, so when Mao Mao's training everyone to hold their spears and get ready to fight, the moment he has with Kevin, the little precious sea green, self-proclaimed little boy.
Precious little boy.
That was the best line reading of the episode, for sure. I didn't look up who the voice credit for that was, but they're just stammering nervousness underneath. They actually draw, Mao Mao basically towering over them. I really enjoyed how that scene was both composed and then just his complete nervous breakdown.
I don't know. My favorite line, one of my favorite lines was that,
I almost know
you'll get your glory soon.
It wasn't Adorabat screaming violence.
Woo! Yeah, that's what stops me from being confident that the "you'll get your glory soon" is my favorite, but it's up there.
Well, yeah, Adorabat also, though, again, I love how she's voiced, but the way she approaches Mao Mao at the end after she realizes what the core of the problem was with Mao Mao's story and why he was so torn up about the dog. There was just something really funny about how Adorabat is teetering on the edge of also crying and breaking down and still getting out all of her words really fast as she grabs onto Mao Mao's leg. That was just a really precious and hilarious moment.
Oh yeah, you have to just sit there and listen. He just really likes butterflies. Oh, that was really good too. That was excellent writing, excellent voice acting, excellent animation. It all came together in such a wonderful moment.
I also, it definitely, as I like understand what this show is about and how it perceives itself as a show, I like that we now know that Mao Mao's, how his tragic backstory, quote unquote, for his tail being gone is based in this much, simpler story of adventuring with a dog. And it's not like, it's not like the reveal of Zuko's scar or something, but it doesn't have to be either, Like, Mao Mao doesn't need to be tragic for it still to be, emotionally interesting and funny and heartwarming.
I mean, I wonder how much that moment meant to Mao Mao, because you see him then, back when he's wearing the green, versus now with him in the red. Like, his personality is night and day.
Well, he also has at first there's this like goofy voice happening in the middle of his narration of his story about Bao Bao's betrayal of him. And, it just sounds like, I think it's also the creator of the show, the same guy voicing Mao Mao, putting on that voice. But I've also watched one episode ahead of this one. What's the title of episode 11?
Popularity Conquest.
Yeah, in Popularity Conquest, Mao Mao actually goes somewhat back into his old persona where that goofier voice is used again. And watching Bao Bao again, I was thinking, what if he is actually, like, because also his outfit was green and different and he looks younger and more innocent, was there actually a time where something made him change something core about his identity, where he puts on this more like gravelly Batman-like voice and changes the whole wardrobe and everything? Now I'm going to be looking out for if that transformation or if that theory's true. Maybe it's already answered in the next 20 episodes. But I had that thought that, something else made Mao Mao go from being a happy-go-lucky kid with a hilariously goofy voice to being a little more serious about his heroic quest and also a little more solemn.
Again, I'm worried that was this. That was, like, he's still really broken up about Bao Bao. Like, it doesn't, the amulet doesn't matter. Who cares about the amulet? They're just questing together, doing legendary deeds. But losing his friend, losing his tail because his friend turned his back on him, like, I think that might have been what did it for Mao Mao. I mean, I just do want to point out that in the 6th episode, Breakup, before he met Badgerclops, Mao Mao was already wearing the red.
Okay, so that gives a little context to the timeline. So your pitch is that Bao Bao is what actually makes him transform into the red Mao Mao. I still think there's going to be something else. Obviously, it hasn't happened in the next 20 episodes, though, so maybe that's something to look forward to otherwise.
I mean, do you not think that Bao Bao's betrayal is a big enough deal for Mao Mao?
I think from a writing perspective that Bao Bao's story is about his tail being gone. But I think the fact that they showed us him in like a green outfit and with, seemingly maybe even a different voice, that there might be a second thing that caused that. And considering we already know about his backstory with his dad, maybe there's even some other important pivotal moment story. I mean, we haven't seen his actual, like, we know that as a child he wanted to be like his sisters and grow up to be a hero. But have we actually seen the, like, pivot point at which he actually makes that decision and dons the red outfit? I'm just assuming that those two events are correlated, where he, like, sets on his quest to impress his dad.
When he's in green, he's out there, he's adventuring.
That's true. Yeah, so I don't know. It's just, isn't there, what, the, like, latest episode about Mao Mao being naked or whatever is also tells us something about his red outfit. So maybe I need to see that one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the only thing about the history of his outfit you get is even when he changed the color, he kept the design of the outfit the same because when he was complimenting his green outfit was the closest his father ever got to getting his name right.
Oh, Lord. I'm not ready for this backstory with his dad.
But yeah, I'm just saying, Mao Mao said that he lost more than just his tail, he lost his innocence, and we were talking about how he sounds much, happier and younger back in the flashbacks, whereas now he has the grizzled, veteran style voice. And so, I think it's probably what did it. You wanted to talk about Badgerclops, though?
I did like his little note at the end when the whole group hug cry session happened, that apparently he's been having his own emotional problems that just, weren't displayed in the episode.
Yes, poor Badgerclops. I mean, Badgerclops is just like that. He'll tell you. He'll tell you about this stuff if he thinks that you're willing to listen.
Right. He's always got his own inner world going on, though. But yeah, he's definitely willing to talk about it.
And they have a wonderful group hug, and I mean, Patroclops painted the pikes. He painted them all by himself. That's how much he cares.
Yeah, I don't think the pikes actually had to be painted, but that definitely shows that he wasn't taking the threat seriously before. But I like that they do, throw in that Patroclops is getting increasingly nervous, and he's not actually confident
Yes.
in the fact that Mao Mao's stories are always exaggerated.
Yeah, like it's like a sweating bullets.
Yeah, there's something about Patroclops' yellow eyes with those black dots that play really well for some of his expressions. Like, when he looks scared, he looks truly scared.
And when he looks scary, he looks truly scary.
Yeah, it works for both.
Anyway, guys, that's been us on Bao Bao's Revenge. Join us next week. Until then, I'm GC13.
And I'm David. Don't forget to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or like on YouTube.
Later, everybody. Our opening and closing music is by Mark Soto. For more cartoon-related content, please visit lunarseaspire.com.